And we're back. Welcome back to Esso versus Erik, where today we start with the Champions League draw, where you will see that in the round of 16, despite winning our Champions League group, we have drawn FC Bayern Munich in the round of 16. I like it! An absolutely incredible tie. It's going to be very entertaining to bring those two fixtures to you across this series in the coming weeks, but man, it would have been nice to get a nicer, easier draw than that, but it is what it is. FC Bayern, it's the joy of the Champions League. We obviously didn't get there in real life, so it's the opportunity now to see how far we could go if we did get ourselves through. And not only is that what we're talking about today, but also today's match is not going to be a Premier League game. It was originally scheduled to be the Premier League game away at Anfield, but instead, because once again we have done better than what Erik ten Hag did in real life, we are instead playing a Carabao Cup quarter-final at home to Brighton. So obviously, like I say, there is no previous fixture to go on in this one. This is just a free fixture for us, an additional episode to the series, but it is against a Premier League team. It is a major competition quarter-final, so I thought it would only be fair to bring this to you now. So this is the team I am going with. A few bits of rotation, of course, necessary for a cup game, especially with the Premier League game in midweek coming up. Firstly, Bayandir in goal for the cup competition, as you would expect. I've also gone for Johnny Evans in the back line, keeping Martinez fresh for the Premier League game. Kobbie Mainoo comes into midfield with Casemiro's suspension after his red card in the previous episode. Luke Shaw continues at left back because Reguilon is cup tied. However, we do now have Malacia available for 45 minutes if needed on the bench. I'm going to stick with Rashford on the left, but it's Jadon Sancho on the right. I'm bringing Mason Mount into midfield as well, and I'm going to stick with Rasmus Højlund up front with, of course, both Martial and McTominay available on the bench, as well as Facundo Pellistri, who's not really had many opportunities yet on this series. As for Brighton, it's a 4-2-3-1 once again for them. The second time we've played them in this series. Jason Steele in goal. Veltman, Webster, Dunk, Estepinian make the back four. Gross and Milner in the middle. It's Ansu Fati and Kara Mitoma in the wide areas. And Adam Lallana once again will be behind Evan Ferguson. Let's get straight into it. Carabao Cup quarter-final. Let's see if we can get ourselves into the semis. And it is Brighton that get us underway in this big quarter-final. Ball played out to Estepinian. Let's see if we're going to have any early drama like we have had in a few episodes recently. Bearing in mind, of course, we are now back on our attacking setup. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Although straight away we have a free kick that's gone short to Sancho. We are still within the opening minute here. As Bruno Fernandes looks to create an angle to find Kobbie Mainoo. Lots of bodies forward. A little back heel onto Shaw. He slips in Rashford. It's a chance. He looked offside. It's a bad miss nonetheless. But a positive start for Manchester United. Let's see if we can build on it. Luke Shaw finds Mason Mount here, who checks inside and goes for goal. And it's really well saved by Jason Steele. Mason Mount, who's just finished his new training setup, who should be now better at making more dynamic runs forward and getting into the box. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit more of Mason Mount on the goal-scoring front in the coming episodes. But again, we shall see. I'm still new to this whole Football Manager thing, and unfortunately, that corner came to nothing. But already, we are on our third clip within the first 6 minutes of the match. All three have been Manchester United clips. Let's see where this one ends up. It's Rashford in again. Can he do better? This time, he hits the post. That's two opportunities for Rashford, albeit the first one was offside. But that's two gilt-edged chances from the left-hand side, and he's not found the net on either of them. Clip has continued though, and it's now Højlund, and he's in behind. Rasmus Højlund, and he hits the post. Oh my word, two attempts off the post within a minute. This time we look to build up from the back. It's going to be Luke Shaw in this left-hand channel once again, feeding Rashford. He's looked like the danger so far. Ball in towards Bruno Fernandes. Simple ball into Højlund. Goes from incredibly long range. It forces yet another corner. Let's see if we can get something here. It'll be Luke Shaw with it. The big players are up from the back as always. It's a poor corner, but he's going to get another chance here, Luke Shaw. He bends this one back post. Sancho's completely unmarked. It's Jadon Sancho. He's taken an age. And it's a wasted opportunity from Sancho. Sancho complacent is right. Needs to sharpen up. Kobbie Mainoo has been influential in recent matches, particularly in the Champions League in the game that you didn't see. Bayandir to Johnny Evans. Got to keep building down this left-hand side. Instead we go infield, but it's given away. It's Milner now. Ball into Lallana. He's got a little bit of space out on Lallana. Looks for Evan Ferguson, but Johnny Evans clears brilliantly to Rashford. Makes up for the bad pass. Now Rashford can drive, and he's going to have the pace on the defence here. Still Rashford. Finds Luke Shaw. Kobbie Mainoo. Out to Sancho. Took it first time. A little bit better from him, but we need to keep those shots down. First real Brighton threat of the game, and that always worries me in games where we haven't scored. It's going to be Pascal Gross with it. It's well cleared by Varane, but it's still there. It comes to Kara Mitoma. And it was saved by Bayandir. Johnny Evans looking to build up from the back once again. This is like our 5th or 6th clip inside the first 20 minutes. It's Mason Mount on the ball. He looks to put Højlund in behind. Rasmus Højlund misses the target. He was offside again. We all know Højlund's got an offside problem, but it's another missed opportunity. Need to do some shooting practice in training, clearly. Now it's Brighton's turn to look to build with Veltman. Brilliant interception from Shaw. Rashford then finds Bruno. Out to Sancho. What can he do this time? He can only lose it to Mitoma. Come on, Sancho. Wait till this clip plays out, but I think we're going to have to demand a bit more of Jadon. Mason Mount wins it back. He's having a good game on his return to the side. He looks inside to Bruno! And Jason Steele tips it over. Bruno, of course, the top scorer in the club right now. And it's Mainoo who does absolutely brilliantly to win it back to Rashford. It's end-to-end action. Højlund's away again now. He's got the pace. Can he strip away? No, he comes back inside, but Mount's in space. Ignores him, goes back to Højlund. Back to Bruno. This is a huge opportunity. Dallow's in. And Steele saves once again. How have we not scored in this match? That's too easy for Brighton to get out. They've done that a few times. Rashford's done really well to get himself back in. A little bit unrealistic, some would say. That's a phenomenal ball. Højlund's in again. Surely this time Rasmus Højlund scores. No look to the flag. He peels away. Finally, he gets one right. It's brilliant from Mount. Exactly what we wanted from him on his return to the side. I said he was playing well. Great effort from Rashford to win the ball back from Veltman. Little ball into Mount. And look at this pass. Perfectly timed. Rasmus with the pace in behind. And this time, finally, we hit the target. We hit the side netting. And Rasmus Højlund gets away with a goal. And we are off and running in this quarter-final. Luke Shaw, last few seconds of the first half, finds Kobbie Mainoo once again. He finds Bruno. I mean, this time Højlund is a mile offside. It's an absolute mile offside. He can't get them all right. That one he most certainly got wrong. Why all the players are celebrating, I don't know. I could call that from a mile away. This one doesn't need VAR. No. Absolutely not. Just for those of you that were wondering, though, it was very close. Only about 5 yards. Only about 5 yards. And that concludes the first half. And what a first half it's been. The only disappointment, as we've already spoken about, is the scoreline is only 1. We've had big opportunities that we've missed. But again, 14 shots on goal, 5 on target, 1.6 XG for argument's sake. 8 corners as well. We're back on top, dominating from set pieces. Need to try and do a little bit better because we've actually stopped scoring from set pieces despite getting so many. So may need to tweak some of those instructions going forward. But let's keep the team as it is. Keep them motivated for the second half. Goal kick to Manchester United. The lineup is set how we like to see it. Varane goes wide out to Dalot as we look to then feed the ball through the centre of the pitch. Hopefully all around the outside with Sancho. I thought the ball onto Bruno was there. This time we do go down the middle with Kobbie Mainoo. He's probably going to look for Mason Mount, who's been creating all sorts so far. He looked for Højlund once more. Now it could be Brighton's turn to counter. Pascal Gross, another brilliant effort from Rashford to get back in there. Again, I wish he did more of that in real life. The instructions really paying dividends for him in this match. Bruno Fernandes now. Out to Johnny Evans. Varane onto Mainu. Onto Bruno. Out to Sancho. Good build-up play once more. Sancho drives down the wing. Looks for Højlund again. Rasmus Højlund! 2-0, and that is what we needed from Sancho. We needed a contribution from him. We got one there, and Rasmus Højlund makes it 2 on the day. And we are surely now 1 foot into the semi-finals. I was about to praise the team, but they're showing the kickoff. And I've still got PTSD, so I'm going to be a little bit hesitant and see what happens here, because here come Brighton. But it is Mason Mount who intervenes. Could it be a second United goal? 2 goals in a minute. Short to Rashford. On to Mainu. The link-up play has been fantastic in this match. Højlund goes out to Sancho again. He's got acres of space to run into. Jadon Sancho. Another ball inside. Bruno Fernandes forces the save from Steele. It's phenomenal stuff right now. Højlund's there again. I wasn't commentating over it because we've had so many corners that haven't come to anything, and that was off the back of a previous clip. But Højlund's just scored his hat-trick. As you can expect, the flag has gone up like it always does. But what's going to happen? Has Rasmus got himself a hat-trick here? He has! Goal awarded. Rasmus Højlund has a Carabao Cup quarter-final hat-trick. The corner came in from Bruno. It fumbled around. Varane headed it. Højlund got there first. Put it in the corner of the net. Yeah, no even need for the lines. It's 3-0 and Rasmus Højlund has a hat-trick. Fantastic. We're really putting them to the sword here. And the clips just keep on coming. Only a minute later and we're building up from the back once again. This midfield 3 has been doing wonders. Mainu, Mount and Bruno. The passing has been exceptional. Varane feeds Mount once more. What's he going to come up with this time? Goes wide to Dalot. Sancho lets it run to him. Diogo Dalot in behind. Oh, it nearly fell to Højlund again. So, with the Premier League game away to West Ham in mind, I'm taking off who I believe are the key players in this starting lineup. I've taken Shaw off for Malacia, Varane off for Lindelof, Bruno off for Eriksen, Pellistri on for Rashford and Martial on for Højlund, who will get a standing ovation, I'm sure, for his hat-trick. But 5 changes, we got 25 minutes left, we're 3-0 up. I think whatever happens, we should be progressing from here. So a good opportunity to rest the key players ahead of that game with West Ham. Sancho once more, finds Dalot, into Eriksen. Substitutes getting involved, now it's Malacia. Mount goes from range and Steele has to make another save. Poor guy's been under the absolute hammer from Manchester United in this game, but he's made some big saves as Jason Steele. Malacia now with the newest Manchester United corner. It's Johnny Evans. Oh, it would have been nice to see him get a goal on the series. Into the last 10 minutes then, it's another attack for Brighton. I accidentally just clicked the wrong team instruction, which is why everyone's now miserable, but it's 3-0. One bad shout's not going to affect the entire game, right? As Mitoma gets in behind and finds Ferguson, and Brighton do get one back. It's fine, it's fine. It was just a misclick. We're not going to completely fall apart now, surely. Just told the players to play a little bit safer for the last few minutes, but we're still looking to get goals if we can. Mainu now finds Mount once again. He plays it onto Martial. There's acres of space for Pellistri. Facundo Pellistri. Ah, it's another big chance missed. We've gone full circle. We started with miss after miss after miss. Højlund then suddenly got it working. And it looks like we're going to end the game with yet another massive miss from one of our players. Although, to be fair, Pellistri's not had many minutes this season, so I'll let him off this one time. And there it is, another episode in the books, another victory, but a big victory, because it means we've secured a place in the Carabao Cup semi-final as we look to defend the trophy that Erik ten Hag won in his first season. So this would be back-to-back Carabao Cups if we were able to win it. Brilliant performance, of course, from Rasmus Højlund, but Mason Mount is going to get special plaudits from me as well. His first appearance on the series for a little while, and a much, much better game from him. Our next game, as I've already spoken about, is away to West Ham in just 3 days' time in terms of the actual game. So hopefully we'll have the majority of our key players fully fit and ready for it, and I'll catch you there.